Hello, it's the 2nd of July, it's 30 degrees and I'm preparing my hives for la Transhumance. So that's when we move the hives location. They're going up to the mountains. And 30 degrees, bees, I want to take all the bees with me, so for one thing I'm going to close them up at night time. But you'll see later on, closing them up at night time is not an easy thing because the days being so hot, the nights being warm, even if the bees aren't working, there's a lot of them that are outside during the night, just hanging around on the terrace if you want, catching a bit of cool air, or trying to. Some of them are totally asleep. Anyway, the idea is, what I'm doing is making sure that when I close them, they're not going to overheat. So I'm putting a little bit of gauze over them, which I then attach with a frame. And so once I close them up, I can take off the lid, and that means that they're not going to overheat during the travel. In fact, I load them up at night time, and then it's in the early hours of the morning that the truck actually gets going. So manage to get a few hours sleep normally before that. The other thing to make sure is that everything is well put together so there's no accidents. So my hives have got clips on them to clip between the body and the honey super, and I double that up with a strap just to make sure everything stays nice and tight, and if it gets a little bit bumpy, there shouldn't be any accidents. So okay, so that hive's ready for the moment, and I'll be back tonight to close up. It's got a little grill on the front, which I'll be lifting up and putting some mousse, so I just make sure that it's not too stuck down with some propolis. Seems to be okay there. Okay, very good. So there's a few more to go, so I'll leave you there. It's 9 p.m. now, and luckily the temperature's dropped a bit. There's still a bit of light, so there's still bees arriving from outside, but what we're going to do is take the grills off and spray a little bit to help encourage the girls to go inside so we can close it up as soon as it's dark. So the grill's up, and I'll just show you the effect that a bit of water has. Don't use smoke when we're closing the hives. We don't want smoke left inside the hive. So we just mimic a little bit of rain, which helps cool the girls down. And it's working pretty well. I'll come back in a little while. No point closing quite yet because as it's still a bit light, there are a few bees buzzing around trying to warm me off, and there's still a few latecomers coming home from foraging, so we're just sort of easing the way into it. A few more to go up here. cool. Ok, 6h30, Valbonne.
On est parti.
On est parti. Ok, c'est temps de laisser respirer un peu les abeilles. Et donc on va d'abord faire ça et je reviens après. Ouais, contente d'être ressortie, hein. Et voilà. Ok les filles. Vas-y, trouvez vos marques. Et voilà, les filles, elles se trouvent le serpolet qui est en fleurs, la lavande. C'est le tout début, mais ça promet d'être un bel été.